Hey everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Small Engine Velocity. Today's video is about my helmet. So recently, Voss Helmets sent me a new helmet to go ahead and use on my track day. If you haven't seen the track day video, it's gonna be right here. It was an excellent time. I suggest anyone who has a big motorcycle, any motorcycle, to go do a track day. Increases safety and all sorts of good stuff that you get to learn whenever you're on a track and you get to go fast without having to think about hitting a bus or another car or somebody in Texas who doesn't know how to drive their car. Anyways, on this new helmet, I wanted to go ahead and connect my Insta360 and a mic using the single lens mode. The 4K on the Insta360 looks amazing, and I already have another helmet with my DJI Action 2, so I wanted to try one with that one too, just in case I have two people who come over who don't have a helmet with a camera on it. They can borrow one and we can do a dual vlog or something like that. So if you take a look at my old helmet with the Action 2 on there, it has an epoxied aluminum mount from the side. At the time, this was the best thing for me to do because in Texas, the adhesive gets so hot that it deconstructs and it falls off the helmet. In the very beginning of this channel, I've had it fall off before and just hanging by the microphone cord, and I could have lost my GoPro in the middle of the road. And another disadvantage to this is that since it comes in from the side, the pitch can be off. The forward and back is obviously going to be one, but the pitch and then the tilt also. So it was really hard to adjust to get it to look right. So I found something online to help me solve that problem. Anyways, before we begin, let's go ahead and roll the intro. All right, so the thing that I found that other moto vloggers were using was something called ChinMount. It is a 3D printed part that has been scanned and fits exactly to the front of various helmets. It has Voss helmets, Shoei helmets, LS2s, any kind of helmet you could think of is pretty much in there. If Voss is in there, then everybody's in there because Voss isn't as well known as Shoei and LS2 and all these other brands that are out there. Now that being said, it is a 3D printed part, and at the end of the video, we'll kind of do a little bit of a review on the quality of this 3D printed part. I know a lot of my viewers are 3D printers, and I also 3D print myself, so I'd like to give it a little bit of a critique to see how well this part is made. At the same time, when I ordered this, I also ordered the low mount. I didn't want to go to Amazon and just randomly order pieces. I was just going to get it all at one place. When I say low mount, when it's on my chin, it's supposed to come out down a little bit more so that I can put the Insta360. Remember, the Insta360 is a tall camera, or at least the aspect that I want to put it in is tall. Just like in my DJI Action 2 setup, it's tall. You would think it would get in your way, but anyways, we'll review that in a little bit. So when you open up the chin mount, it comes with the 3D printed part. It comes with a safety tether, which is good to have in case it happens to fall off, because remember, we're using adhesive and not epoxy. If it does fall off, then I'll eventually go back to epoxy again, but at least it's a little bit non-invasive this time. And then a little alcohol swab for you to clean on the helmet so that it's a very clean surface, no hand oil or whatever might be on there. Who knows, dead bugs, something like that. With the low mount, it comes with various parts, namely the part that clicks into the helmet mount, and then also some screws and some hand screws and stuff like that. It also comes with the tool for the actual screw to put in there. That's nice. It didn't have to put that in there. So of course, the first thing I'm going to want to do is take the part and put it on the helmet. Not actually stick it on there, but just see how it fits. So it fits just at the chin. There's a little bit of a vent down there, and it fits perfectly around it. It's even cut out to fit around that. So I know it will fit, and it was a clean fit too. So the first thing we need to do is take the area and clean it. Remember, we were talking about dead bugs on your helmet. You don't want that to be the reason why you lost your GoPro or X3 Insta360 in the middle of the freeway or something like that. I've never done this before, but it says to use a heat source. So I used my wife's hair dryer because I can't find my heat gun, and heated the helmet and then heated the adhesive on the mount. And once I got it nice and hot, sticked it on there. So what it tells you is to wait 24 hours and then you can start using it so that the adhesive can set, kind of like an epoxy, I suppose. So the camera I'm going to use for this helmet is the Insta360. It has a case around it. With that, also I have the mic adapter. The mic adapter plugs in. You take the lid off and plug this piece in, and it will give you a 3.5 millimeter jack to plug in a microphone. You'll also need a dead cat. You don't actually have to have dead cat, but with wind noise, it helps a lot with keeping the down from whatever you're wearing it. And then a TRS mic. For this camera specifically, for the adapter, it's a TRS mic, not a TRRS. So while we're waiting the 24 hours, I'm gonna go ahead and connect the low mount to the camera. The case that I have has magnetic flip outs that are metal that I can connect to the low mount. Use the hand screw on this one so that when you want to make adjustments or loosen it to flip it forward to look at what's on the screen, you can, and then tighten it back up for any type of adjustments that you need. Now you'll notice I put the camera on backwards. The part facing the outside is the screen. It should be the other way around, but I'll catch that later on. You'll notice when I put it back in. To do the mic adapter, you just pull the door off. It comes off, the door clicks right off of it. It's a little bit of a struggle for me for some reason in this little clip right here. But once you plug that in, it should plug in neatly inside of that slot, even with the case that I purchased for it. But one thing to remember, do not lose the lid. You want to go on Amazon and spend $15 on a stupid lid that you already had, because you're not going to use the 360 in your helmet all the time. You're going to use it for other vlogs and other rides and other types of footage. So just be sure not to lose it. Just a little bit of a tip. So let's go ahead and wait that 24 hours. 2, 4. All right, it's been 24 hours later. We're gonna go ahead and do a test connect. I already have everything connected onto the helmet, but minus the mic stuff, just the camera. Go ahead and click it on there, and it seems to fit nice. The alignment is good. It's straight up and down. I don't have to worry about whether it's tilted left or right anymore. All I have to do is worry about forward and backwards, and that's it. Now, in the middle of a ride, that's wonderful to know that I don't have to stop, pull over, and play, you know, alignment man to just try to get it all nice again. Especially if something bumps it or you hit it or, like, you know, whatever on accident or something like that. It's good to know that it's going to stay in the same position. You just have to push it forward and backwards. This is what it looks like on the helmet. You might think that looking at the helmet, it was blocking my view. Now, remember, with your helmet, when it's sitting on it, it's kind of, your point of view is kind of up. The chin is supposed to be below the line, so when you do it like this, you'll actually be able to see through it, and only a little bit of the top of it is showing in your point of view. And remember, it's a wide-angle camera also, so it will get your bike, and it will also get the road in front of you. And then I also decided to go ahead and put it on my head to kind of set that example, so you can see what it looks like on my head. It does add weight. Of course, everything adds weight when you attach it to your helmet, but to me, it looks pretty good. It's usable, functionable, and it doesn't, I don't know, it just doesn't get in the way too much for me. Now, you may have a difference of opinion and think it's way too much, but to me, it's a good moto vlog helmet. I have other helmets I can wear if I don't want to have to record. This one specifically, I can take off or put on, but if I wanted to, it'd make a great moto vlog helmet. So I went ahead and did a quick ride up and down the street. Let's go ahead and play that clip real quick. Okay, here we go on the test of the mount for the positioning with the Insta360 X3, and I wish I could show you what it looks like inside the helmet. You would imagine the way the helmet sits, or at least when it sits on the table, that it would look like it was blocking my vision, and that's not the case. You would imagine it was, but it's not the case. So far, it's pretty good. It's nothing different than the other one, but I like the way it mounts. Whether or not it will stay on with that 3M has yet to be seen. More than likely, what's going to end up happening is the summer's going to get hot. I'm going to put my helmet outside, and then the sticky is going to go away on the holder, right? So once the sticky is gone, then it's going to fall. But fortunately, I put the tether on the helmet, so if it does fall, at least it'll be hanging and it won't be bouncing across the road. But then at the same time, I also have a little bit of extra insurance on the actual device itself, So I'm covered just in case. Yeah, so it looks good. I like this mount. 3D printed and everything. It looks pretty good. I don't know why I'm slowing so much down on turns. I guess it's because I haven't ridden this bike in a long time, and it feels like I want to scrape my pegs. Anyways, let's get inside and finish this off with a little bit of a review on the printing quality of this piece. So not so bad. I probably have to turn up the gain on the mic a little bit to get the sound to be a little bit louder, but it looks good. The lenses on the 360 are wonderful, and the 4K is also wonderful on there. Plus it has a gigantic battery, so it'll last longer, and I can do motovlogs, dual motovlogs on this without having to pull over and change a battery. I can ride for an hour or so and be fine. So the 3D printed part is very small. I sent an email to ChinMounts and they didn't write anything back to me. I asked them what material, was it a solid print? You know, were there any other details they could give me as to the printing quality of this? So looking at it, the layers look to be incredibly thin. It still looks like it's a 0.3, 0.4 nozzle tip. It does look solid, and it looks like it's printed the same direction as it's sitting on my helmet. If it was laying down, it would have overhangs and stuff like that. So I believe it was printed standing up on there. If you look on the side, it does say ChinMounts. It's kind of hard to read because it's 3D printed on there. I wish they didn't put the ChinMount logo on there or made it at least a little bit more shallow than they did. All I can see is dirt and stuff getting stuck inside of there if I happen to get dirt splashed on my helmet or something like that. I do believe that this is ABS plastic and not PETG or PLA. I hope to God it's not PLA. Maybe I'll get a letter back and I can do an update later on, but if it's PLA and it's in Texas and I get in the heat, it's gonna warp like crazy. Anyways, this is my new setup for my secondary motovlog helmet. Let me know if you like what's on there. I'm gonna go leave some links below of the things that I got for this. And if you have any questions or anything like that that you want me to test, let me know. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.